I'm looking at myself 3 times.
Let's get into it. Yo, what is up? This is gonna be first stream podcast. This is where we're gonna start the editing. So like when I edit it later, I can cut it off here. So what's up? I'm here with the first guest of the first tradition. Single Player Tuesday will not die, but I want to do this instead more because I feel like people like the talking content. And if you want to know the OG like invented podcast before they existed, it's Greg and I. I don't give a fuck if you think they existed before. They didn't. Greg and I walking at 9 p.m. on the street. We've talked about some shit, and I was thinking my business mind. I'm like, you know what? We gotta fucking put this in the internet. People need to know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Oh, yeah, you do. That's right. Greg has the widest eyes. Greg, what do you think Greg has wide eyes? I think it's just the angle of the camera. Apparently, Lando says. To scare the audience. Oh, God. Yeah, but...
I can, I should be able to, mess around with,
so much shit about Tekken. I've literally never talked shit about... Yeah, I'm not getting lost with Kyle right now. So, what's up? So, here... Oh my fucking God, that's weird. Yeah, I see a lot of... Sorry, the chat's distracting me. So, honestly, I wanted to talk about with Greg right now how I wanted to talk about the idea that there's something Greg said to me. I just want to start it off with this. That really, fucked my world up. And he ruined a lot of the things I used to like, or I don't revisit. Because he was like, dude, if you ever really like something from the past... don't revisit it sometimes. I'm like, what? But you liked it. And he's like, yeah, but you always looking at their different lenses in the past. It probably sucks now. And that's happened to me where there's a game, do you ever play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game for the GameCube? In 2002?
I have not, no.
Okay, yeah. Well, I used to love that game as a kid. I remember parts of it sucked. And I think if I went back, I would hate it. And all my memories would just be like, am I just living a lie? Do we just like bad things sometimes? And because it resonates with a certain part of us, we try to defend the whole product. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
You just asked a very good question. Do we like bad things sometimes? I think you and I both know the answer.
Yeah, but
that's just how it is.
Is that wrong?
No,
I know people say don't morality doesn't matter, but I think it does. Because morality is what keeps us from going becoming, anarchists, right? At least I think, it keeps people from going insane, if we people try to separate.
I don't know how we went from Ninja Turtles to morality. But,
no, because I'm talking about no, because I think you also just brought up an amazing question that I want to build on, where it's
right.
We like bad things, but is there such thing? I almost want to make the argument is it really a bad thing if you got that much enjoyment out of it? If your time was well spent, it's like that fucking Comedy Central bit, right? It's not a waste of time if you found it funny. At the end of the day, is that not kind of true? So is that thing you think is bad, is it even bad? If you had a good time with it at one point.
I mean, my counterpoint is that, something you and I sometimes did, at least pre-quarantine, is we would go out of our way to watch a movie we knew was total shit. Because it's fun to see how bad it is sometimes. It's still a bad thing, but we enjoyed it, right? Bad because, for technical reasons. Maybe it's just poorly created. The animation looks weird. Whatever. Writing is terrible.
Dude, but
sometimes that is fun,
Why is
that's kind of a niche example. It's not exactly, I think, what you meant. But...
Is it The Room more memorable than some okay movies? Isn't it funny? Yeah, you're right. I'm just saying I actually agree with your point. Your counterpoint makes a lot of sense. But that fucks me up a little. It's you know what it is? We're getting gamer here. It's low tiers in Ultimate or Melee. No, think about it. They're so bad, it's fun. You can only do 2 things, but you just find it so enjoyable that some people, dude, more people like King K. Rool than fucking Crom. It's true. The Crom fan base is very low, but K. Rool's a shitty character. K. Rool sucks. I know.
Yeah, he actually does. He does.
And then people are like, "Hey man, that's my favorite. That's my favorite character." I'm like, "Bro, he's bad. Here's a good character," and they're like, "I don't really like him." I'm like, "What? Why do people like bad things sometimes? But why do they try to defend it? It's like Sonic Adventure 2. I'm looking at Dan right now. It's a bad game, but people love it. The fan passes tried to hurt me because I was like, that game is terrible, and it's terrible. Emotionally, he didn't actually try to physically hurt me. And he was like, "God, it's so bad." Oh my God. A lot of it is nostalgia. And May is one of the best people in stream. That's what I told Greg we're talking about today. Nostalgia. Is it always good? Is nostalgia? Because one thing I think Smash does is Smash has this ability. I think it's for like doc kids too and shit, but even for like, I'd actually argue Smash 4 players going to Ultimate. Like nostalgia is a powerful thing that will make people overlook things that they think are like, I think overlook things that I generally think people should just consider as bad, you know? Like fucking nostalgia is a powerful drug. People will just overlook shit and just like do it and be like, oh, I loved it as a kid, so it has to be good. Or I liked it. It's like, it almost feels like an ego thing sometimes, you know? Like, how could I like something
powerful.
Bad?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You latch onto it. It's a part of your identity. You experience that. It must be good. It must have been the greatest thing ever. And sometimes it is. And I think the key point, which I think you were hinting at the beginning of this is that sometimes it is a great thing at the time you enjoyed it. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? A lot of things with nostalgia is that you enjoyed it when you were a kid. Sure, you could say you didn't know any better, and that could be partly true with bad games, bad movies, whatever.
That's such a fucking cop-out. Don't you hate that shit?
Point, it's still like...
I hate that shit.
For you, it was still valuable at that moment, though, so there is value.
Can we talk about that? I hate that shit. That, like, I was just a kid. Like, I think that's such a, like... I think that's my problem with nostalgia.
In and of itself, but
it is, right?
I don't think it's completely invalid to say.
No, I think it's
black and white.
Yeah, no, I definitely think there's arguments here. Fuck you, Angus. Angus loves you. He says I'm only staying for Greg.
We were talking about nostalgia. It reminded me of the origin of the word nostalgia in our lexicon.
Yeah, so dude, this guy used to make fun of me because I always talked about nostalgia, and he would be like, "Joe's talking about nostalgia with like 3 years."
I gotta find it. I gotta re-find it.
Oh my god,
where was it? Okay.
Re-find nostalgia.
Keep going.
Yeah. Oh shit, no, dude, you're saying some heavy shit. Yeah, no, I was just thinking like, man, I think you're right that I think it's more of a cop-out than people give it credit. Like, you know what, this all links to how people think about animation. You know, some people are no, like, hear me out. I know it sounds like a crazy take, but it's like...
I was reacting to me not finding my thing, but yeah, keep going.
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, Gags 98. Where's the balls? Fuck Gags, I forgot about you, bro. Oh, he wants a balls emote. I forgot. I gotta give that to him later. Maybe later. You know what? Should I show my... Greg, do you want to see my tattoo, IRL?
I saw it on the stream. I was watching.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
And I see you've got Discord open on stream. Speaking of, good.
Yeah.
So check out, graphic art is my passion.
Oh my god, I hate chat. Yeah, he made it. Fuck, I remember this.
I made that in like grade 9. That was like 2012.
Oh my god. Oh shit, that's awesome. Just talking about Fire Emblem. No way. Fuck, I hate you. I hate you. This picture, I'm like 12, man. Why'd you take the youngest picture of me? Oh my, why am I also doing that smile all the time?
It's thematic. I think it's fitting to our discussion.
I hate you. That game is that... Yeah, dude, Kyle, Awakening was new when this picture was taken. That game came out in 2012. That was a decade ago. Isn't that crazy? A 3DS game? It was like one of the new releases. I'm just searching for Joe. God, Garrett's funny. I saw Joe on the bus. I did play DS on the bus a lot. But no, that's what... Fuck, no, let's talk about animation. This is one thing a lot of people will make arguments, and a lot of people at the Golden Globes, and a bunch of fucking old people who are like... don't have a good sense of taste will be like, yeah, it's not like, it's pretty good for a kid's movie. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, why are you belittling? Like, do you know how hard it is to do animation?
Well, that's kind of a different direction we're going there.
No. Like, it links into what I'm saying. I'm saying that, like, but I'm saying, like, when it comes to kids' movies, people will downplay and try to, like, it'll be like a cop-out saying, this movie had problems with the plot and problems with the writing. Like, things did not connect the way they should. And the progression of, like, and the writing for the characters didn't feel natural. The setting didn't make any sense. And people will be like, but it's a kid's movie. It's like, what? No, those things are still bad. Doesn't matter who it's for. Those are still bad. And that relates me to, when we're talking about nostalgic products, either of your past or mine, or of people's childhoods, I think if something has... I think there are certain metrics you can define things, and you can objectively say at any point of time, whether you are a child or an adult, that things can be bad. Just because as a kid you can't see it at that moment in time, I don't think that, like, we should be able to time capsule things and, like, protected from certain criticism because it was from a certain time period. And I know ethical dimensions is a thing in history, which is literally the opposite of what I'm saying. But I think when it comes to nostalgia, there's different rules for it. Like, there's like, for example, you know how people like really transphobic in 90s movies? Like really bad?
Sure.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
it was
I don't
horrible.
know if that's changed too much nowadays if you look at the news.
I know, no, it's sad. Yeah, no, it still hasn't really. But I mean, in movies, it's gone, like, I think in, like, I don't know about Hollywood, but there are some movies where it is way better. Like, we have more trans representation of movies that isn't, like, toxic. And we have a lot of good, like, we have more LGBTQ-friendly products now that are actually good. Not just, hey, I'm a gay guy, it's my personality. Like, there's actual real actors who have experience with these communities representing those kind of people. See, I almost said you people, but I almost fucked it up, but I dodged it like a champ. So I'm like, thank God. But yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Like, do you think that just because something is nostalgic to you, that it's free from criticism? No, right? I think I'm just correct. I'm not even asking you. Yeah, I'm just saying that's a fact, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, for me personally, when I'm thinking of things I like back in the day, if I have revisited them, like, I actually, you know, maybe it destroys the magic, but I do like to sort of think, okay, so what like doesn't work about this anymore? Like, could I like something like this nowadays? I don't know. It's a weird kind of thought experiment, and often the times the answer is no. I wouldn't like it if I encountered it for the first time now. But that's not the important thing, right? The important thing is there was some value at a certain time when I was at a certain headspace, and I can value that, you know.
Oh shit! In a certain headspace. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think context matters everything. Like, even if you watch a movie today versus, oh, maybe last month you were having an awful time and you watch it then. Maybe if you had watched it then for the first time, you know, it would really touch you and make you change your perspective, improve your mood. Maybe if you saw it now and you're happy-go-lucky, everything's good, it's just another movie, you know. Even that, like, that's not really great for nostalgia, but just as far as how you perceive something in the same relative amount of time, I think.
dude, I am listening. It's just, Angus is baiting me in the chat, but can I ask you something, Greg? Because Greg is the one guy who can answer Angus's question. Angus said, Hoodwinked is dog shit, but it's the best kids movie. And why is he scarily correct? Do you agree with that?
I
agree.
I don't necessarily disagree.
I actually, the fuck is, I also agree. Hoodwinked is awful, but it's also kind of great.
It wasn't even that bad. Like, Joe,
dude, have you seen the animation? Dude, yeah, we watched it 2 years. You remember? It was so bad. That animation was horrible. The worst thing was the water. The water looked really bad. The water was like rotten Play-Doh.
Everything else, you know what?
God.
It looked like a college film project. I'm not gonna knock it. They had some effort.
Dude, Anne Hathaway was in it.
Wasn't Hollywood effort, but
Anne Hathaway was in it, Greg. Do you know Anne Hathaway? That's like an A-list actor. It was supposed to be like a big AAA animation film. It looked like shit. But the plot was funny.
Well, yeah, let's be real. You don't watch Hoodwinked for the animation.
Garrett is based off of Wall-E. Oh my god. Honestly, yeah.
You watch it for the...
It's got no...
I don't remember why we watched it, actually. I think it was just on.
Dude, Angus is... Man, honestly, too bad we should get... sometime... Angus will be the next guest. He's already, like... He's in the right mindset here. But, like, he says it's got heart. I kind of want to break that down. Because what does that mean? Can you explain that to me? I actually just don't... when people say it's got heart, it's so vague. Like, can you explain it?
There's passion behind it. There's an actual story. I mean, it's Hoodwinked specifically is kind of goofy, but it's still, like, there's the moment where, you know, Red Riding Hood is flying in that minecart, and then she looks in the clouds and sees her grandma saying, you know, don't give up. I don't remember the exact word, and it's like, oh, I'm having a vision. And, you know, you learn later, actually, her grandma was, like, skydiving at that point in time or something.
Oh, yeah,
so she literally saw her grandma in the clouds, but...
Here's how my day went.
It's like... I don't know where I'm going with this, actually. You know?
Dude, you just explained the plot as content and stuff. Like, fuck, that movie was wild.
Yeah. I'd say, like, it's you know, it's got a kind of character to it. It's got an identity.
Mm-hmm. So what I'm seeing in chat is it doesn't take itself too seriously. That's a big thing. I think that's also, you know what it is too that we have to give credit for? I think when the creators do that, I think some fans need to be less, like, serious about, like, certain times of media consumption. Like, sometimes people will go into something wanting a certain experience or feeling from, like, what they think they're going to get. and then they don't get it and they get mad that they didn't get what they wanted. But like, creators aren't making for you. Like, they're going to try to incorporate they're trying to incorporate your audience, but like you, well, when I say you, I mean like not like the majority. Dude, do you know how hard it is to encapsulate so many people's desires into like one cohesive idea?
They are usually, a studio does have a budget in mind and ideal projected. Okay, if we go for this target audience and we make this much, we'll be rich. To put it simply,
I feel like that approach seems so like, man, how, I don't know. I just realized I thought about it.
Business side of things. There is a business to it.
Yeah, there's definitely a science to it. I feel like Kyle would probably do it. Yeah, they know about Fight Club. Oh my god, no, Garrett's just baiting me. Have you seen Fight Club, Greg? We won't talk about it.
I haven't. I'm not a classic movie expert.
Fight Club fucks. I love Fight Club. I was called an incel because I liked it. They thought I was. They thought I thought Fight Club was like the Bible. I was like, no, I just think it's a good movie. It's a good talking about it. Okay, we're not getting into this. You guys are giving too many good topics. I see in the chat. We're focusing nostalgia. I'm so ADHD. Greg has to keep me in check here. But yeah,
ride.
Fucking yeah, no, but like, I just think that like it makes me think about. Like, the reason that I want to think about nostalgia a lot, too, and the thing where you talked about, like, yeah, never go back to the things you, like, really had a soft spot in your heart, because if it's bad, it'll ruin it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a related point. Like, that's the one thing I'll say. The best way to ruin a good memory is to revisit it, ironically. Like, if you watch something when you were 4, and you don't remember the plot at all, your only memory is that you liked it, odds are if you rewatch it, you're not going to have that fond memory anymore. Not always. Sometimes you can be very pleasantly surprised, but like, it's because at that point, if there's that much of a gap, as far, from when you were 4 to now, however old you viewers are, 20, 30, 90, 800, I don't know. No, but like at that point, you'd be basically rewatching it for the first time again. And you're making kind of a new judgment with a new headspace, and you have a new experience, new idea of what you like, what you don't like, what's technically good, if as far as like any special effects are concerned or not, or writing, and what isn't. So that could be the best way to ruin something for you. Like, I don't know. It sounds kind of dumb. Obviously, it's important that in a lot of things, for example, if you're making some sort of claim about some scientific topic, it's good to be well researched in it, right? To actually look into it, read into it, and get some idea. But when it comes to just like a feeling like nostalgia, where the whole point is the feeling, that's the value. Like, sometimes ignorance is a good thing to have to a degree, because then you never lose that magic moment. Oh, I like that thing. Somebody tells you, oh, that movie sucked. You say, I don't care. I liked it when I was 5. And you have that forever. Until you rewatch it as a 25-year-old and you're like, what the fuck is this shit? Like,
I will say Angus did bring up a point. I was going to armchair psychology, but Angus literally took the thought out of my brain, is that I feel like at that point too, like, well, I really like what you said, the fucking, you're in a new headspace, because like, you're a different person than when you were 5.
Yeah, you're a different person, and
you're seeing it for the first time again. Yeah.
It's almost like a blind faith kind of thing. You like it just because you like the idea of you liking something. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. Dude, some people might call you a fake fan. Who cares?
I think the fact that Angus said you grew up too cynical, if that's the way you look at revisiting something from young, I would actually agree with that. I would say at that point, because
it depends. I mean, some things like really just aren't that good when you rewatch them. I mean, for me, the example I gave to you like a year ago was Space Jam. I loved that movie as a kid. I rewatched it in like high school, and I'm like, this just doesn't make sense. Like, the plot it's not even that it's like awful. I'm just like, what happened?
What do you mean? Like, the Monstars?
When I remember when I was a kid, the scene where like that guy who was playing golf with Michael Jordan like runs in, and he's like, hey, I'm here. Like, that made perfect sense. And then when I was watching it recently, I was like, who is this guy again? Why is he just showing up? Why is there like random like golf caddy ex machina over here?
Golf caddy
ex machina. It made perfect sense as like a 6-year-old.
Oh my god.
Of course he would show up. He's the hero we need. They're down a player.
Honestly, I was gonna say, Greg, we might be the opposite. I feel like I am with Angus, where I'm kind of a nostalgia enjoyer, even though I'm like arguing that like
you can enjoy
I'm a
it,
defender.
But you don't enjoy nostalgia by rewatching or replaying or whatever. There's a difference. I specifically gave an example of something you experienced when you were very young, and then radio silence. Nothing but your memory of enjoying it until a recent moment when you revisit it, and then it's not as good as you remember. That's what I'm saying is the best way to destroy your feeling for something. But if for example you've been playing the same game, you beat it 4 times a year, every year, and you've never stopped, and you're still nostalgic for it, that I would say that's different.
Are you talking about yourself? Super Mario
To
World?
an extent. I mean, that's what I do with Super Mario World, right? I've been playing that since I was 4. I still play it. I haven't played it in maybe a year.
And that project is good.
Keep it regular. But yeah, but like that's a different kind of nostalgia, I'd say. No, it's less about nostalgia at that point and more habit. I'm used to it. Whether it's good or bad, this is just something I do.
Dude, I feel like you've definitely cracked a part of it that I actually like the way you explained it. Where you're saying like nostalgia is about chasing that feeling. And if you think the product itself will not give that, the giving joy to a 6-year-old is fucking easy. You can just put a flashing sensation and they'll fucking like, you give them a box.
Oh, yeah.
And they're in fucking wonderland, like SpongeBob imagination, like easy. Kids will go nuts for like any easy shit. So it's pretty simple. But when you get older, I actually kind of agree with the word. It's not even a cynical thing. I think like getting to that point, it's hard to find that experience, like that innocent wonder where you know nothing because you're a kid. Kids are stupid. Like,
well, because as a kid, you literally know nothing.
Yeah, you know nothing about the world. Exactly. And sometimes you find something that resonates with you so like just in a subconscious level, it just resonates, and you're just like, I like that. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but I like that. And when you get older, you kind of can explain those sensations now. You'd explain those good feelings. And then, well, high key for some people, they can't, because some people are fucking awful feelings, I will say. But, like, chasing that, I think that, so I feel like what you're saying is nostalgia. So I feel like my opinion of what I thought you thought of nostalgia has changed after hearing you talk. Because I feel like you're not saying nostalgia is always bad, and it's not like you should never revisit things from the past, but there's an insane there's an insane level of difficulty chasing that feeling. I like that. Chasing that feeling.
I'm speaking from personal experience. I find if there was something I enjoyed when I was a kid, like I really enjoyed it, and then I'm thinking about it now and I'm like, would I still enjoy it? I don't even know. I don't have a guess either way. Just to be safe, I usually avoid revisiting it. Because if I have this fond memory I'm hanging on to from my childhood, why ruin it, I technically have experienced it before, but I don't know. It's not necessarily worth jeopardizing that just to know with certainty now, oh yeah, it's good. I was right to enjoy it when I was 4. It's not that important, just have the nice memory.
Some people do think like that. I do think some people do. They're like, I have great taste. Like, this thing I liked has to be good. And then people kind of lose themselves from like, this thing I liked is Space Jam is a big commercial.
I believe I liked that when I was a kid.
I used to think like that. I used to think like that.
I think everyone is guilty of that, but I don't know. I'm kind of weird. I know this is sort of a bit skewing or a bit of a tangent here, but for example, my impression is that most people hate seeing like pictures of themselves as like kids and stuff like that. And,
this is relatable. Whatever. This is not a tangent. I like this.
Like, oh my god, I dressed up like a pickle for Halloween in 2007, or I don't know what. Whatever. People don't like seeing when they were pictures of themselves laughing, crying, whatever, having a good time, bad time, just pictures of themselves from the past. But personally, I've always enjoyed photo albums.
I hate this fucking picture. Continue.
You hate the nostalgia picture?
I hate it.
I think that's one of your best. I don't know.
Shut up, man. I'm so mad. But I like this. This is not a tangent. This is relevant.
I don't know. For me specifically, I try to think of it in that perspective that like, okay, maybe I was, young and dumb in this picture, but at least I was having fun and I wasn't doing anything wrong, right? Like, this is a moment where I was enjoying myself. Even if I wouldn't do that again, ever, I still think that's not a bad thing that at that point in time, it was enjoyable.
I have a fucked acid-like question. Can I ask you it? Hypothetical. This is purely imaginary. If you had the ability, if you could have your whole photo album, every photo taken in your life, and go back and experience the 30 seconds before and then 30 seconds during and then after that picture, would you do it? And then you teleport back to the present. But like, let's say you could live like in virtual reality and relive those memories vividly. Like you were there. You could go back in time just for that brief second. Would you do it? Or would you leave the memories in your brain as they're intended to be?
Okay, wait. So if I say yes, I have to do that for every picture of me.
No.
Ever,
You only get to pick 5. You don't have to go through all of them.
Okay.
You have to choose 5. But would you even do that? Because if I'm hearing what you're saying, that you like seeing these pictures, but if you could go back and experience them, would you do that?
I mean, in general, there might be some things I would see just if for no other reason, just to see, okay, how the hell am I suddenly being transplanted back in the past? That's sick as fuck. I honestly, I would do it just for that alone.
Just the experience.
Like
only 5 though.
Time travel.
Like 5, you're just like it's gone. By the way, like you don't get to keep it or share it. Like it's just for you. Like you just experience it yourself.
Just burns up as soon as it's over.
Yeah, I think that's pretty metal.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
you made it even better.
I would pick something mundane, but I would probably. But yeah, why not?
Because to relive, because that's why people have pictures, right? You're trying to relive like memories in your head, like as a to jog your memory again.
I
right?
always saw it just more as an archiving thing, but I guess the
same idea, right?
Yeah,
like it is archiving, fair. But it's to remember where you've been. But would you do it? Because if you're what I'm hearing, what you're saying, would you do it? Because it might not be as good as the picture itself. The picture might be better.
No. Well, that's just it. When I'm looking through a photo album, I'm not necessarily nostalgic for the pictures I'm looking at. It's more so that I can appreciate them rather than cringe at them all the time. Of course, everyone's got some pictures that no matter what, they'll never be good. But
Greg just called a fuck ton of people ugly in a bunch of pictures.
I'm including myself in that.
You still did. You're like, a lot of people just have pictures that are not flattering. It's like, damn.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant like in the,
oh god,
one thing that like you really don't know how you did that even as a 8-year-old or something. Like,
would I do that? Now that I asked it, I wonder if I would do that.
I don't know if there's like. I don't have any pictures on hand. I like the idea of just like, again, the novelty of it. I would try that. The novelty of.
But you would lose the picture. Like that picture's gone forever. Like it burns up and there's no like records of it.
So I'd pick a picture that is not especially valuable to me. Probably.
You would go back. You would use the power of time travel for something mundane just to be like, why did I take this photo?
I mean, if I'm time traveling, I don't care. That's kind of sick.
Like, it's not like you're visiting outside of your body. It's like you're in where you were at that time.
Yeah.
Like, it's a weird, there's no other...
So I'm observing through myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you're just back there, and you're like, oh, shit. You think you would too? Yeah, I'm with May. I would do it too. I would do it.
So it's like I'm doing something... Everything, all the motions are exactly the same. There's just an extra me in my mind that's...
Yeah, pretty much. No alternate timelines. It's somehow in this universe, like it just works out where you're just viewing it.
You know what I would do?
What?
Because I already don't have memories of it anyway, and I don't necessarily have a super strong connection to it. I'd pick a baby picture of me doing something wacky when I was like 1.
That'd be sick because you have your adult brain.
Because it's watching. Like there is no way you will ever remember that anyway.
Oh my god!
Why not experience that?
That is hype. Going back to your baby photos would actually be hype because you'd be like, "Oh shit, this is me as a baby. This is crazy."
It's probably mostly just a bunch of like lying on your back and.
Honestly, I would.
I guess,
dude, I'm lame as fuck, but I would do my high school grad photos. I definitely would.
Oh.
Yeah, because that feeling, I didn't give a fuck about the night. Now that I'm older, I don't really care about that night at all. But the memory. The feeling of being with my friends, like I was with Bad Rad Matt, amazing like Matt knows the picture I'm talking about. I wish he had it. It has my ex-girlfriend in it, so when I was mad, I got rid of all those photos. But I feel bad. I made one mistake because that photo was nice. Like it was a good photo. My buddy Bad Rad Matt had fucking big, like goofy sunglasses. I was just like being like nostalgia factor face for like in my high school crap.
Iconic look.
Yeah,
and like becoming an emo by
and
the way.
Lund was in it. Like it's a great photo. Like yeah, Matt, it was one of the best photos I've seen in my life. It's like I had my best friend in the photo. I'm like, fuck, this is dope. And one of them is just sick. And to be fair, there's a lot of good Joe Greg P ones. There's that one dope one on my Facebook for 10 years. I should probably show the chat at some point. That's a dope one. You remember? We're by the baseball field. I got the hand over.
The one where it's like our height difference is very clear.
Yeah, that's the one. Because you got much taller, but at the time it was like, what?
I didn't. I peaked at that point.
Nah, dude, you grew like 3 more inches. There's no way.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
I am a tall titan standing at a mighty 5'6".
Hey man, shout outs to all my under 5'8ers in here. Shout outs to all y'all, dude. We need y'all.
That's literally me.
That's what I'm saying. Shout outs to you. Shout outs to the people, man. But yeah, fuck it. I don't know. I'm just thinking about that and like why I think it's interesting whether you choose to relive them or not is that I think that it ties into like talking about like well, I guess it does tie. Hold on, I'm trying to get this like together because I'm definitely thinking about a lot of stuff right now.
Get it together.
Get it together. Well, yeah, I want to make sure I like piece it together correctly. It's like I just don't like when people say this whole nostalgia thing is like tying to a point I think I've been feeling deep inside me that funny fact comes back from my night with May. It's funny enough this is kind of tangential, but kind of the fact where like people will, in order to conform to what they believe other people will like see as okay or acceptable, they will like, you know, when people are like, I like it, but I know it's stupid. Like at that point, like, I think that's weak as shit. I think the older I get, the more I'm like, don't do that. Like, for example, if I could go back, I would take a picture to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In high school, and people are like, Joe, you like Yu-Gi Joe likes Yu-Gi-Oh? Fucking nerd. Yeah, unbelievable. This guy likes
incredulous.
Like Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I'd be like, if I could go back, I'd also be like, yeah, this is like my favorite game. I love this shit. I watch the anime, like I fuck with it. I love everything about this. Like, damn, like I fuck with this shit so hard. Next, I'll be real. If I'm really going with my heart, the next tattoo I'll get will be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tattoo, probably. I might get like some fucking like dorky thing, but like I fuck with it. But like, yeah, like when they say like who cares, like you know what I mean? Like you've done that right before Greg. I think everybody has. It's like it's a fitting in thing. It's like a growing age thing. Yeah, like you know how you just say like I know it's stupid, but I like it. Like that's a cop out. That's like copy. Like I hate that shit, you know. And that's what
I think it's less a cop out and more a confidence thing, I would say. But
well, having low confidence is still a cop out. Cop out to that person. It's disrespect to yourself. Not to. Sure. I'm not disrespecting them. I'm saying disrespect. I'm trying to say this as like if I'm the person. Like if I'm saying this personally, it's disrespect to you as a person and like what you like and the kind of person you should strive to be.
No, I can agree with that.
But yeah, like that's why I'm like, you know what? I think it's a cop, and that's why I'm talking about nostalgia and like how we say when you say I like something as a kid, but I know it's bad. Like Space Jam, for example. I hikey think if I'm believing my extremist theory is that you recognize that there are stupid things about it, but if it made you feel that way at the time, I wouldn't say I know it's stupid. I guess I know at that point it's just kind of semantics.
No, I would agree. Like at that point in time, it wasn't stupid.
Yeah. So at that point,
I don't blame myself for liking Space Jam as a 6-year-old. That's a great movie for kids.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's dope. Come on to slay.
It just in my older mind, in my older opinion, it doesn't hold up. But you know what? That's not a problem. Not everything has to stay static.
I felt that. I want to get it. I kind of want to get it. I feel like it's a natural. I want to get into that. How things really get worse. Why does the passing of time on certain like movies just make them that much? Why does a movie hit so right sometimes just when it comes out at the right time? Does that make it really a great movie?
Yeah, because it's topical. It's already kind of on your mind before you watch it.
Is topical even like? I guess I find it weird.
When I say that, I don't necessarily mean it's about a current world event or something. It might be. I just mean relevant to. It's relevant to you when it comes out, because that's when you're your most present self. I guess that's the oldest version, most experienced version of yourself when a movie first comes out. And so,
can you say that again? You fucking blew up my brain. What? What do you mean your present self?
I mean, you exist now, but that sentence I just said is a second old, right? But that's kind of an extreme version of it. But like, if a movie is new and you watch it when it's new, that's probably the closest you're ever going to be the target audience for it. Let's say either that or it's made with technology from the present. If it's a present movie, it's made with technology, writing, technique, whatever from the present. That's when it's most appropriate to you in that present moment, I guess, usually. And maybe if it
Yeah.
doesn't hold up 10 years down the line, well, you have a different headspace now. The whole culture of everything is different. They don't use that technique anymore in movies. Even something like that. Like it looks weird because they did this weird thing that was awesome back then, and now everybody's like, "Wow, 3D? Who wants to watch a 3D movie?" You know, like
Oh shit. That's
it's just another perspective thing. I think it's just time and place. I don't
I
know.
actually
It's not really a cohesive point, to be honest. I'm kind of just
no,
rambling.
I think the opposite. I think you're not giving yourself enough credit. Damn, that just fucked my brain in a way. That's insane. I didn't even think of that, but yeah, no, the fact that like, yeah, the way you talk
Timing's
about present techniques, the present time, you are the perfect audience the moment a movie comes out because that is the culmination of all technique
Yeah,
and
it's
preparation
literally
for
made
that person.
for you at that point in time. Not you specifically per se,
Yeah.
maybe, but
But you're the closest thing that they are.
it's not intended for people that were alive 100 years ago. It's not necessarily intended to be watched 50 years in the future. I mean, if it's a great movie, it might be timeless, might become a classic, but you can't guarantee that.
Dude, you macro thinkers, I gotta talk to y'all macro people more. I've been losing, Greg, can't you see, I've been losing the fucking trees for decades. I've been losing the tree. I've been seeing, not the trees, I've been losing the forest for decades. I've been looking at trees and be like, why are there a bunch of trees here? And people be like, motherfucker, it's the forest. I'm like, what's a forest? I'm like, I only know this tree. Like, I'm so focused on micro and everything, it fucks my brain up, dude. Because I'm all about, first of all, I'm about guess and checking, but I'm also about, I'm all about the culmination of things, right? I'm all about like putting little blocks together to build all the ideas that I think of. So I think a lot of like, even when I think about nostalgia, I've never thought about it like in that way, like thinking of the masses. I've never thought about like, because that's the weird thing about movies, that people try to interpret them and like take them as individual products made for them. But when people make movies, they're for, like you said, for the present, but not you specifically, but for a massive group of people. And that's why I think Heike being a director sounds even just like, talking philosophically sounds fucking hard as tits. Hard as shit, sorry.
It can be. Well, because, there's that whole thing. Are you making it for the widest general audience possible, or is it just something you've always wanted to make and you happen to have funding?
I think those directors aren't as popular, but I think they have a special sweet spot for people. The people who are very like niche kind of directors, where they have something specific to say or something to tell a story in a certain way. Like
it's general versus specialized. Right?
Who's that Isle of Dogs movie director again? Wesley.
Don't even know what that movie is.
Does anyone know, chat? You ever seen Isle of Dogs? Who's what's his name? I think his name's like Wes something. Wes Anderson. That guy. Thank you. May put it right as I said it. Yeah. Wes Anderson. There we go. Yeah, Wes Anderson. No, he's definitely like one of those people. But yeah, I've just never been a macro thinker, and I think that
I don't know. I'm not even sure if I would call myself that. That's just kind of how I
maybe
see it.
Maybe you're not, but you had a macro thought. You can't deny that because that's very. But like, what I find interesting is nostalgia when it relates to macro and micro. It's something that people think about as macro, but it's inherently like a micro kind of idea.
Oh, it's completely specialized.
Yeah, exactly. But like people try to
have a similar experience, but it's not. Mm-hmm. It's still personalized.
I loved it as a kid, but like, but what did you love about it as a kid? There was probably something. Maybe it was the music that drew you in. Maybe it was the way the characters were drawn. Maybe it's the accents that the character had. Maybe the sword was really sharp. Maybe you loved the main character. I don't know. It could be anything, you know?
And maybe the whole experience was just, you experienced it at the right time. Maybe it was just that. Nothing in particular, but everything all together just culminated into something memorable.
You know, we're about to make this fucking weird. I feel like it's the same way with relationships. Or at least with certain people in life. Isn't it weird that, I'll be honest, if I met May like 5 years earlier than I did, I don't know if we'd be as good friends. It's the fact that there are certain people you meet in your life where if you don't meet with them, if you don't meet that person in the right time, kind of like I just think your thought with nostalgia is brilliant. Because like, it's certain people I've met, I didn't like them at the time, and my relationship was forever, didn't build, and people are like, why aren't you like best friends with that? You guys have so much in common. And I was like, well, unfortunately, like I just wasn't in the I don't want to say. I just felt like I was in the wrong place at the right time, kind of deal.
I wasn't doing Friends at that point.
Shut up, man. You know what I mean. Not that I wasn't doing Friends. Just like there's certain people where like I need to experience certain things, and I need to not be a douche or like an asshat or like stuck in my own ways. Like I needed like I met certain people in the Smash scene where I'll be real, 3 years before I entered the scene, I would not be friends with them, with the person I was. But it was because I entered the scene and I was exposed to so many different kind of people and so many different lifestyles that I was like, holy shit. And I met them at the right time and I was like, damn, like this is insane. But I find it funny that like with certain relationships, even like when it comes to people like meeting partners, like female, male, non-binary, if you're pansexual, whatever sexuality or gender you identify as, that yeah, you'll sometimes will not see success, even if there probably is a lot of chemistry there. But timing is fucked in nostalgia and in life, honestly. It's in everything. I hate timing, dude. Do you think you're good at timing?
I don't think anybody can be. It's kind of just chance.
I think there's a science to it. I'll actually argue. I have a theory. I think there's a science to it.
I mean, depends what you're timing, but
like
timing big life events. I don't know. Like that's.
I think
up in the air.
Well, no, there's like it's not. It's like a pseudoscience. It's not like a science, but it's like
okay. There we go.
Yeah, you know, it's a
truth comes out.
There's
look at this expert over here.
Doctors
hate him.
Doctors hate him. He knows the science.
Scientists hate him.
Pinches of science is that like like luck is just like when you're prepared for it, right? Like they'll say opportunity is like luck comes to those who are prepared. That's what the saying is. It's like a but that's like a pseudoscience way of looking at life, right? Like if you're going for a bunch of walks, you take care of yourself, you're happier mentally, you're doing things to take care of yourself. Opportunity comes to those that are like that treat themselves with care and like give themselves the best chances to succeed.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's why it's a pseudoscience. Like it's not like you can plan, like you said, you can't plan life events to happen to you. But there are ways you can like statistically increase your chances of like
Okay, I see where you're coming from. You're optimizing life over here.
It's like you're so sarcastic.
It's like I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like, bro, you know what, guys? You know what? Finding a mate, like in gaming, it's like a Dr. K thing. Well, it's like for my Pokemon people, it's like finding a shiny, right? You know how you can get certain tools. Yeah. You know how certain people like have tools, and in the newer Pokemon games, you get like certain tools that help you find shinies easier. But a lot of the time, you just have to fucking grind. Like you have to milestone in the same bush. Another plane, Caterpie, and you're like, fuck, and you have to reset, and you got to keep doing it. But like taking care of yourself and like having a healthier well-being and having like better mental health, knowing who you are and your identity, you get like a dowsing machine. Or I don't play Pokemon anymore. You get
that's the tough part.
There's a shiny charm, right? Like in the newer games.
There's something like that.
Like it's sword
in every game. Or
they add something, but like when you beat the game.
Pokemon Master.
Me neither. Ask like Corey or the other people. There's like Pokemon players in chat, but like in Pokemon, you basically when you achieve a certain level, like you complete certain post-game content. I literally think it's the same idea like in life, where it's like once you complete certain things with your identity, like once you discover important parts of who you are and you know how to express what you are, people who are into that kind of thing will follow that. You'll be like a moth to a flame to them when you know who you are. A lot of people, it's not just partners you're looking for, but even friends in life. People are drawn to people who are genuine. That is like a constant thing. And you might be thinking, holy fuck, where did nostalgia go? Like in this whole conversation. But I'm looping back to it. It's going full circle. It's that people like people that are genuine. And I think it is disingenuous to discredit anything, period, if it made you feel such a sensation that you can think on something 15 years later in the future and be like, that is a good ass memory. And I personally think if you're not willing to revisit that because you think you'll tarnish the memory, was the memory even that special to hold to not discover whether you were right or wrong? I would say.
I would say from my personal experience, the risk isn't always worth it. No.
And I think that's fine.
It depends. It depends on the thing. It's kind of a cheat sheet here. If in the age of the internet, if you remember you really liked something when you were a kid, and you're like, I kind of want to try re-experiencing it. I don't remember anything about it except that I liked it. look up a review, look up a few reviews, see what people say,
Mhm.
see what people are saying nowadays, and they're like, "Oh, I watched this with my kid. It's a great movie about family values and whatever." Ah, sure, maybe try
Every
and
kids
revisit
movie.
it.
True.
That's
True.
that's kind of a cheat sheet
Y-
if you don't want
y-
to risk it, but
That's true.
I
I'm
don't, I
just.
don't think there's I don't think it's necessarily wrong or disingenuous that like you have a good memory and you just want to preserve it how it is, like because again, I will bring up that context thing. You enjoyed that when you were 15 years younger. That doesn't mean you'll enjoy it now. I like you mentioned yourself because you've changed. Hopefully,
Yeah.
you've changed over the course of 15 years.
God, I hope so. That would suck. I'm still the same like 12-year-old
Stuck in
little
stasis
shit.
or stasis.
Oh god, stuck in Stacy. Yeah, that'd be fucking awful, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm still holding on to the point where I'm like, yeah, even if it's, I think the fact, uh, here's my anime coming out. I don't care. I love anime. I was watching Haikyuu again, and Haikyuu has this great fucking moment in this episode that really made me go like, holy fuck, that fucked my shit up. It was made me think about what we're talking about right now. The flash in my head, where I was like, he's like, there's something special about trying something you know you don't like and knowing that you don't like it after trying it. I think assuming you don't like something without giving it a try is just it's just hollow. Like at that point, like if you're not trying things that you know you don't like, just assuming that you don't like something, you're just ignorant, right? And the last thing I want to be on this earth is ignorant. So
Yes and
so
no.
so
Like like
that's where I
like
disagree. Where I don't mind if a
okay.
memory is bad and I re-experience it.
Like my classic rebuttal to absolutely anything ever. Nothing is ever, night and day, black and white, If you've listened to 100, I don't know, what's a genre of music? Just a random genre of music.
Pirate metal.
Pirate metal. You listen to 100 pirate metal albums over the course of your life, maybe even recently.
That's way too many.
And
But
then
yeah.
your buddy comes up to you and says, "Hey, yo, pirate metal number 101's coming out," and you're like, and you've hated every single album. You've listened to all of them, read the reviews, re-listened to them again with a new perspective, and they always suck to you. Like you're technically ignorant to the new album, but like you've probably got a pretty good idea that you're not going to like it. I don't think anyone's going to fault you for not listening to it.
I'd still
Right?
listen
Like
to
there
it.
is.
If it was me, I would unironically still listen to it. If I listened to 100, I had to listen to the 101st one. I listened to
Okay, well,
100.
I should have picked a different number as to
That's a
experience.
lot of albums. I'm like, I'm not gonna not at that point. I'm fucking
At
too
that
deep.
point, that's your identity, I guess.
Yeah, I'm like,
But
yeah, it is. I'm like, I'm the pirate. Dude, I
I'm the
walk into
guy that
clubs, I'm
hates
like,
pirate metal.
pirate metal, and I just cry because I hate myself because all I listen to is pirate metal. Like, at that point, yeah, dude,
No,
I'm gonna listen to it.
But my point
course.
is, like, over the course of your experience, of your life experience, there are going to be patterns you recognize. I typically don't like these types of things.
Mm.
And if, like outside of something that would take literally 5 seconds to try, like you're at a restaurant, your buddy orders popcorn chicken, you've never had it before, you think you'll hate it, and they're like, "Hey, you want a piece? Sure, try it there, whatever." Worst case scenario, you spit it out, I guess. But
Yeah.
outside of stuff like that, like if you have a tendency to know that this type of thing, you're not going to like it just from your perception of reality, why would you invest a whole lot of time in confirming that you don't like it instead of pursuing stuff that you already know or are otherwise ambivalent to but don't necessarily think you'll dislike, I think there's a time priority there. I wouldn't like get
Yeah.
mad at someone that said, "I don't think I'd be interested in trying this." Sorry. In general, like if they
If it's something new, I would.
if they have something else that they want to be doing, right?
Well, I guess, but
If
like,
they
if it's
do
something
know
they
that
haven't
they
tried, even if it's the same category, I think it's almost like a gross assumption to be like, these are similar, but I'm like, but they're not the same. Like, how? Like, what is that something you like? But like, I think I see
That
what
can
you're
always be
saying.
an
Though.
exception, but
Yeah.
like
Well, it's kind of like MOBA.
at
It's
the
like
end
this.
of the day,
Yeah.
sure, you can never know for certain until you try it. And in general, I'm the type of person that says, yeah, you should try a lot of things, especially things that you might not think you'd like. But if you've got like a hard line stance against something because of some past experience, you've just only had overwhelmingly negative experiences with something, like why would you keep at that point hurting yourself, I guess? Why would you keep exposing yourself to something that's clearly causing you displeasure instead of just do something else? Just do something else.
Yeah, honestly, I could definitely vibe a bit with what you're saying for sure.
That's all I want to say. In general, I agree. I think the pursuit of ignorance isn't a great thing. So there's some people that are very proud about the fact that
they are.
They don't know how to tie their shoes. I don't know. Like, that's the first thing that came to my mind. But
that'd be crazy. Someone's like,
that's a bit. I think that's a bit of a different story. But it's
we're
not everybody that says that is against trying something because they think they won't like it is doing it because they're proud of the fact that they think they won't like it. They just might think, well, why would I invest time in this thing which statistically wouldn't be for me?
Do you think people are like that with competitive Smash? Hikey.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, people sometimes. Well, I think maybe Hikey. There's some people who played Smash when they were younger. You know, those people that come in to like try it, and then they play it, and they're like, "I love this as a kid," and then they like they're in that environment, and then they just never play it again, or come back.
Yeah, well, they tried it,
and they didn't like it. Yeah, so I guess that supports my.
Yeah, that's nothing wrong with that. That's kind of the opposite of what you're saying, though. You're saying somebody that would assume they would dislike it.
Well, that's weird. When it comes to competing, because I guess I was thinking about it, because like there's a lot of people who say that, right? That's like the most popular thing. I played Kirby as a kid. I clicked down B. That's the classic. I can beat everybody. I'm so good. Then they play it, and that's a reality check. And yeah, so like they played it as a kid, so they want to do it. But then when they experience like competitive play and like what, it's like since it doesn't match up with what they thought the game could do, then like they just don't get as into it. But I guess it's also a personality thing, right? Like it's the same thing as making movies for. That's where my micro eyes come into mistake.
Your micro plane.
Yeah, my micro plane of vision, exactly. Yeah, where I'm trying to like I'm trying to look at everyone's individual experiences, but I'm trying to like lump them together. I'm like, that's not how that works. I need to, you know what? That's my new goal. You've actually given me a lot to think about. I need to become more of a macro thinker.
Good.
When it comes to nostalgia, I think I have to think more. Well, because it's so both, because it's such a interesting dichotomy. Because it's something discussed in macro terms, but like comprised of micro experiences. Not that the experiences themselves are micro. Sorry, Chad. I mean within the realm of the epistemology of the thought. Yeah, I'm talking about the epistemology of it. I'm not talking about the
epistemology.
I love epistemology. That was the best thing I learned from my research studies class. I love that shit. I love knowing what we know. I love how we know things. I think that shit's it's the most overthinking thing to like, and I just fuck with it. I like that. But yeah, honestly, at this point, I feel like I feel like that's all I got right now for fucking. I mean, Heike, we could talk about other shit forever, but it would be tangential at this point. I feel like this is pretty fucking good. I feel like I've dived into.
You're saying apparently Chad has a volcano of ideas erupting all over the place. Maybe there's
who?
Some, I don't know. You were saying that earlier.
Oh, you mean Angus?
You just said Chad's coming up with ideas.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Chad. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Chad. Yo, my boy Chad, is he in chat?
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Yo, Chad on stream.
I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, Chad. Well, they were saying some just interesting shit. At least big nostalgia enjoyer, but no, we pretty much discussed what they were talking about.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, yeah, dude, I just think that personally, this literally all started because I was thinking about what Greg said to me a long time ago, where he was like, "Yeah, I don't revisit old memories," and I was like, "I said I'm just a well of wisdom."
I didn't even mean it like that. Like I've said a lot of stupid shit too.
I would both of it, dude. I mean, to be fair, there's like I feel like I say wise things like once every 3 months. I have like one line where I'm like, holy fuck, I am poignant as shit. Like, oh my god. But then sometimes we be talking during jets for sure. We be talking, dude. To be fair, yeah. I mean, other than that, because you think so? Man, I hope so. Well, to be fair, Greg, I will say, like, I had an idea where I wanted to do. I get a boom mic with Greg and I, and we just walk around and actually like, because our walks, like, we have shit. We talk about shit like this like on the daily. We're just walking around. We're just going like, yeah, talking about fucking. Well, you know what? Really quick, I want to.
It always ends at Smash 4.
It does, dude. To be fair, Greg and I spent like 4. We have so many like memories with that game. That always breaks my heart thinking about it because
Smash 4. If you ever see a stream where it starts off, we're walking around town, there's Joe's lugging a boom mic around for some reason. It's gonna end with Smash 4. Get ready for that.
Because it was just so Smash 4 was so formative for me. I will say. I know
that's fair.
everybody
I would agree. For me too.
Yeah, I know everybody shits on the game
form.
and nobody likes it, except for like a few people here and there. But like, I don't know.
Me, I'm the Smash 4 liker. But,
I mean, that's the people at SK that also like Smash 4. Like, unironically, they're like, man, Smash 4 fucks. It's so broken and I love it. I'm like, I know. I was like, that's why I love it too. It had so much heart.
Look, this conversation's ending with Smash 4. Let's move somewhere else. Let's move somewhere else.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe, yeah. But I don't know, to be fair, it loops back to the same place. But I mean, to be fair, we do talk about a lot of different shit. And like, all right, you know what? I want to end this talk with a little anecdote then. Or kind of with like a closing question. And I want to know, do you feel that how long are you going to be playing Smash 4? I feel like I want the people to know a little bit about you. No, playing Smash, how long?
Oh, how long am I going to be playing Smash FOR?
But yeah, thank you. Yeah, not the number. Not the number. Yeah, no, I fucked that up.
Sorry, it was on my mind.
That was my me. It makes sense. Yeah. So,
I don't know.
How long?
I was going to quit after the Arcadian in December, but then I started playing again, so obviously not.
No, I mean,
I think it's one of those things that like I'm always going to buy the latest one. Because that's always been one of my joys since buying Brawl in 5th grade. I was like, hell yeah, new game.
Yeah, I don't know how long.
Like outside of that, it's like I'm at a position where it's like the community in general is kind of like one of my main reasons for staying. Not that I'm necessarily super active or like best buds with everyone per se, but it's like
it's nice.
It's kind of like an investment, right? Like because for example, there's a lot of people that like don't even play the game anymore, but they're still active in the Discord or whatever, right? That's fine. I kind of like that part about it. So would you argue that they actually really stopped, or are they kind of there in spirit? You know, you get the weird kind of
Discord servers make things weird.
Everything with social media in general. Same with like Twitter, right? Like
yeah, like people post
YouTube, whatever. Like, do you ever really leave? But also, like some people, yeah, they just fucking did.
Yeah, some people just like uninstall Twitter. Yeah, they're just like, oh, but I'm gone. Like Chimp actually left. He's kind of around Discord.
Chimp?
But oh, sorry, talking about Amir. I called him Chimp.
Oh.
His name's Chimp Bakistan on Twitch.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
He was pretty good, but he just, I don't know, I think he just didn't like Ultimate. I'm pretty sure that's why. Or I think he accomplished his goal. I think he just didn't like Smash. So he just stopped playing. He actually did it. He just left. He successfully was like, yeah, I'm gone. He's like, I'm out. I'm like, all right.
I see him comment in the sports channel once every 3 months.
Oh, because he likes sport. Well, like you were saying, he likes the community.
I know what you mean. He's not really active.
He's around.
Anymore. That's fair.
He's just not he's not a competitor anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like, because for me, I feel like, I'll be honest, with how things are going, I'm feeling great and I'm having fun. I will stop playing Melee competitively when I stop finding it fun. It's the first time, I'll be honest, like, because I think I was just like, I thought to enjoy Smash to the fullest, from what I see from experience, you have to like be good or like be like high ranked to like, because I feel like, I don't know about this. This is one problem that I feel like not just Melee, but Smash feels kind of top heavy, but here's the truth. Here's the thing that fucked me up. It's not even that it's top heavy and you can't talk to top players. It's that all of us are a bunch of introverted fucking nerds and we're not very good at socializing. So our vehicle to like get into making a lot more friends is becoming like a good player. The better player you become, everybody like worships you and you become like, holy shit, you're like the guy on campus. But like the one thing we need to do, like, right, I'm talking about you and I, and talking about the chat too, I think is important. Even if you're not a top player, even if you're an O2er, like you said yourself right now, or 1-2er, because you're rusty and an engineer, busy doing your shit, is that I'm just saying we need to, at least I feel like, I'm not like a high rank player or anything. Like I'm like 11th, 12th technically. I'm like bottom of the totem pole when it comes to the 30 players that play our game in the scene, the Melee scene. But I feel like I just want to be as inclusive as I can. I don't want to just talk with players that I'm going to play in bracket. I want to interact with the community. People wouldn't ask the better player questions, talk about the game. Yeah, it's because people only talk about the game because they're so nervous about, you know, I don't know. I think it's also a confidence thing. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, well, it's you know, you can talk about the game because it's the one thing everybody presumably has in common, right? So if nothing else, it's a good launching point.
I just wish there was like, I wish there were more tournament. You know what I'd like? I'd like more tournaments that had the vibe of like, I don't know. You ever been to like a coffee house? You know, those kind of events?
I've been to Tim Hortons.
No, not. Oh my god, no, not an actual coffee house. Like it's like an event. I don't know if there's another word for it. It's like, Greg, it's basically like a department at a school or like a program or have like a fundraiser. Well, they put on like a little concert and they serve coffee and like tea and like pastries.
You know, I think I know what you're talking about. And I don't recall being to any of those.
Yeah, but you know,
I probably have, but
that's all that
I
matters.
don't remember.
Yeah. So I
get the idea though, like just a casual, hey, what are you doing kind of.
Yeah. For the introvert one, no, I agree. But I'm just saying that I want, you know what I think it is too? I think with these bigger tournaments, if you're going to the Smash scene, and that's where I think Discord's kind of dope, in my opinion, when it comes to like creating, like making it feel, even though you're like a bigger community, it feels closer and it's easier to interact with. I do really like that part of it.
I would agree. It becomes like not that we have a lot of weeklies these days, but it becomes like rather than you're seeing these people once a week, you're seeing them literally every day, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, that is true.
But yes,
that's true. Yeah, I just feel like
I like that. Like, I mean, some of the points you're bringing up, I feel like I don't even know they necessarily apply in our scene.
No, not
like
this isn't our scene. I'm talking about like majors. I'm talking about like big scenes because I think this is a problem in like bigger scenes. Because I'll never.
I think Manitoba's pretty tight knit as far as I can tell. Even like the bigger.
No.
It's kind of big at this point.
It's because our scene is small enough, so it's intimate now. But our scene used to be like huge, and it's not that it was segregated, but like it was massive.
Was it ever like massive?
Yeah, in like 2014, 2015, there was over like
I wasn't here yet.
150 to 250 people. Like it was massive. Like everybody played. It's because when we started to come in, the scene started dwindling. Like it got like smaller and smaller, and then it became. But now that our scene's small, it's kind of dope. Oh, for Melee Cell, there's like 100 people. Yeah, it was like 100 people.
For me, it feels bigger than it's ever been. But
it used to be. Yeah, Manitoba used to be huge when the doc came out. Yeah, like there were like so many people. Tournaments were like so many people in the room. It was insane. But yeah, I just feel like our scene's intimate, so this isn't a problem. But I like to think of the global Smash community, and I just think because there have been problems.
The global Smash community is a bunch of guys with anime PFP on Twitter and 5 followers who say, "Show me a tier list, Hungry Box." And that's,
show me a tier list, Hungry Box.
No diss to them, but I mean, you're not giving a lot of people a lot to work with to open up communication.
Great, just shit on Smash Twitter. Go on, Hungry Box, show me a tier list.
Honestly, it's a pretty low bar. Like,
somebody clip that. Somebody please clip that. Guy with anime PFP says, "Hey, Hungry Box, show me the tier list."
Like, well, seriously, I don't. That's what the majors are. No disrespect.
That's what I'm saying. I want to talk about that stuff. I want the community to be less. You know what it is, Truth? You're right. You brought up a point. No, what I was. No, I don't want to see a tier list. I don't care.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Everyone's obsessed with tier lists. Who cares?
Yeah. Especially with Ultimate. It's the one game where like you don't need to care about like all the characters are pretty good. Like you could probably beat everyone in your local with like any character as long as you're good enough. Unless your local's like Naito Sharp or something.
See, and you know what just happened, Joe? You know, you said that statement. You know what just happened?
What?
You got quote retweeted by 50 anime PFP 5 follower guys that won up.
Holy shit, Greg, you gotta save me, man! I'm getting killed I'm getting rage shown in the comments. Help me, man!
They're destroying me.
Oh my god! That's crazy. Yeah, but Angus, that's like you can't beat the top 5 they want, but you could high key beat like anyone that isn't top 10 with anybody in MB probably. Like if you're good enough, yeah. I think so. Don't quote retweet me. Greg, be in the Smash community. Yeah, May clipped you, dude. That is so funny.
It's a hard truth we all need to learn.
Just recommend what they want. Ryan losing to a Kirby? Oh, that's funny. I could see Ryan losing to a Kirby. But yeah, no, I mean like Greg, I want to stop the anime PFP like I want those people. I want to meet them with kindness, and I want to take away their tier list. Hold on, that sounds like really evil, but like I mean, like
you're right.
No,
it's too easy. You know, it's the thing to start the conversation, but everybody knows it, right? Like it's not really interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just because you know what it is. I think about a lot. I've watched a lot of podcasts with like with Scar and Toph, and they talk about like everybody, all the old school Smashers talk about Smashboards. People talk about the beauty of Smashboards, and I think with Discord is like the new Smashboards. We know that. That's how all online tournaments. I don't know how Ultimate does it. I think they do it the same. But for Melee, that's where all the online tournaments are. It's Discord. When you join a tournament, you join their Discord, and through that Discord, you can figure out that Discord has a bot that leads to more tournaments. So you can find like all the tournaments online. It's pretty fucking cool. So like you could connect with a lot of people you normally wouldn't, and it's kind of great. And it's like pretty, like I used to shit on Discord just from my experience of being in my little hobbit hole in Manitoba Smash. But once you go into other Discords, yeah, like you can, like I will say, I feel like I gotta give credit more to, the only thing I think is the problem with why we have such, like, is that I do feel like Smash EG, they're actually getting updated, so maybe that will affect the app.
Yo, Pog.
Fuck yeah. But I do think finding tournaments to this day has not been figured out. I still think it's hard as fuck to find tournaments. Like, unless you have inside knowledge, you can't just find them. They're not just popping up. You have to follow a bunch of people.
The best thing is, like, I don't know, even like fucking Twitter, somebody that you follow
like says it.
Somebody else. Oh, like, check it out, Genesis this weekend. You're like, damn it, I wanted to go to that.
Yeah. Like, I agree.
I don't know.
Isn't that weird?
That seems to be the best way to discover an event. Dude, I remember half the time I like hit up the Ultimate channel and I see people are like popping off about some set. I'm like, wait, something's happening this weekend? Okay.
Dude, that was me and Pound. I was like, people are talking. I was like, what's going on? I'm like, oh shit.
Every tournament. There's a tournament every weekend. I should know this by now. But...
Yeah, I'm like, Pound's this weekend? I'm like, oh shit. Because I did Genesis I knew about because Genesis was hyped and Genesis is a great event for Ultimate and Melee. So I was like, holy fuck, I watched both. I watched Melee on stream. I should have watched Ultimate, but all we have is Twitter. Yeah, Twitter is... that's the problem. Actually, I will say it.
Twitter's kind of the Wild West.
Yeah.
Like, it's not terrible. Every now and then you step into a good saloon, but, you know, it's also got a lot of rowdy desperados everywhere. You know?
Twitter is amazing, but Smash Twitter is the fucking worst cesspool of all time. No, I love Twitter because I follow good people. I follow funny tweets, so my Twitter makes me laugh every day. But the problem is Smash Twitter is, and I'm not going to say, you think I was going to take an easy Ultimate joke? It's not. Melee Twitter's fucking cheeks too. It's all,
except it's just a mostly anonymous
Deep Leffenbot
players.
He's amazing. I will always defend Deep Leffenbot. And Mango's Twitter is hilarious. Like, Twitter is funny. You guys just why do you follow these people?
It just harkens back to that problem where kind of nobody has anything meaningful to say. You know, the tier list joke I made earlier, right? Like,
that's funny. I'd like that tweet. I'd be like, that's a good one. Yeah. Magi is a great Melee Twitter account. But no, like, I just think Smash Twitter is so bad because, yeah, I feel like Smash tweets, they're just not good, like, on the off the cusp.
They're just memes.
They're just, it's not even always good memes. It's also fucking whatchamajiggy.
When Falcon punches.
No, Melee Hell is funny. Don't talk smack on Melee Hell. It's just a Melee Twitter page. That's really funny.
Okay.
Ew. Like, no, there are some good, but it's just like, only till it's a matter of vegetable tier list. That is based. Greg, we should look at a vegetable tier list sometime.
You want to make a vegetable tier list?
Oh, I'd have such bad opinions. Okay. Well, now
what's your bottom tier veggie? Just give me your lowest.
Are you, man? Fucking Mike is calling me out like this. I'm gonna get fucking torched in the comments. What do I think is a bottom tier vegetable?
What is your just right now? And then the conversation's over. I can give you mine too. But what absolute worst or at least among the worst?
Yeah, like a bottom tier vegetable.
Okay.
I'm thinking of like in terms of taste, but also in the way you cook it. Does that affect
anything? Literally anything. Okay. You just hate it. You fucking hate it. It's a subjective list.
Okay, like a vegetable I fucking hate. I'm trying to think of vegetables I actually hate.
Maybe hate's a strong word. You strongly dislike.
Actually, cauliflower. Fuck cauliflower.
Okay, yeah,
cauliflower.
We can agree.
Cauliflower, fuck. If you try like cauliflower, you have no taste. Cauliflower is just... Cauliflower dude, cauliflower is like you tried to print out paper, but you went to print out broccoli and you got fucking cauliflower. You know when you ran out of ink?
Okay, my F tier, unordered, unordered within tiers, it's a
Yeah.
cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. That's mine.
Yeah. What about asparagus? You like asparagus?
I like asparagus.
Asparagus.
I think
is
I had
not
a
bad.
famous tweet in 2017 where I said it was B tier minimum, so I'll stick by that.
Dude, you know what's funny? May's onto some shit. Like, veggie flavored things are delicious. Know what I mean? Like, you ever have veggie sticks? That
Like
shit's
veggie chips and
delicious.
shit.
They're so good.
They're really good.
They're
I like
insane.
vegetables in general. It's just like there's some really not good
Okay,
ones.
top tier vegetable. Oh, it doesn't count because tomatoes are fruit. I do fuck with tomatoes. I love tomatoes.
But no, we can't reveal our tops because now when we make our 6-part 20-minute each
Video
part
essay?
video series on veggie tier
Vegetable?
lists, no one's gonna click.
Tomato is
You're gonna
mid.
have the Armada hands, you know. Greg put this in top tier.
Oh my god, dude! You know what?
There's
This
like a
is.
silhouette of like a vegetable. It looks like maybe it's a carrot or a parsnip.
I'm
You're
doing
not
this on
sure,
camera.
like-
This is my thumbnail. Okay, we're gonna do cute. Bro, I'm taking a picture going, Greg put what?
There you go.
Dude, no, tomato is not mid. Whoever said tomato mid is fucking actually high.
Okay, we're done. What were we talking about before the veggies?
I'm just thinking about the veg. I'm trying. Oh, hold on. I didn't say my top tier veggie though. It's like actually what I'm thinking about. Okay, top tier
You
veggie.
don't need to. They're not going to click on the video. You
Bro,
need
they
the
will.
clicks.
Dude, I don't lie, man. My fucking thumbnail. Ah, holy shit. Other than that, though, is there anything you want to say? Because I feel like I was throwing all the shit. Is there anything you're like?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anything?
Something about nostalgia. Is that where we were?
No, I mean, too. We left that train a long time ago.
Yeah, we got off.
We talked
took
about
our
Smash
Uber.
Twitter. Yeah.
Smash Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Which
There's
is just
not much more to
awful.
say. It's really just check out this epic meme. It's funny. Haha. Hero down B. Captain Falcon.
Oh my
That's
god.
Smash Twitter, and it's on a tier list.
It's on a tier list. So my man doesn't like Smash Twitter very much.
No,
at
I
all.
like it. It's not even that I hate it or that it's terrible. It's just it's not interesting.
It's
That's
meaningless. Yeah.
There's no meaning. There's no. I personally, I have no value in it most of the time.
No sauce. Like literally
It's
zero.
just like everybody saying the same joke, and like nobody's really stealing it because I don't know, it just spontaneously generated one day. But
yeah,
cool.
a lot of echoes for sure. That's definitely how it would be. I feel like sometimes. Do you think you know what? It kind of relates to nostalgia in a way. Do you think that sometimes like are echo chambers ever good? Yeah, right? Yeah.
I don't
Like an
know.
echo chamber?
I would like to think about that. Like, okay, you're saying yeah, they can be. Why? What's
Yeah.
your reasoning?
Because I think if the message itself is positive, and even if people don't understand it, well, is ignorance but for a good thing, that can still be a good thing, right? Like you do something you didn't know was good, like you weren't doing it with the intention of being well-mannered or good.
I mean, a good
Like,
act
that's
is a
still
good
good.
act, I guess. I mean, it would be more meaningful if you. It doesn't have meaning if you didn't intend to do it. But I mean,
Yeah.
if it's a positive, it's a positive, I guess.
Yeah. So like
Sure.
I guess what I'm wondering is like at what point do we like because honestly, I feel like some people will argue that like echo chambers are never good because if the person is engaging in activity that they themselves do not understand, then they really have no control on what like
What they're doing.
yeah, what they're doing, and they don't like even if the vehicle of social change that you're in by following a movement, if you don't fully understand it, you kind of lose the message. Like, you know what this makes me think about? Like high key.
Sure. I mean, that's fair.
It makes me think about it kind of makes me think about a cab in a way. Do you remember a cab? It still obviously exists because all cops are bad, but
Oh,
people
okay.
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I literally understood it as a cab, and I'm thinking like taxi drivers.
Sorry,
now? Like,
sorry, the abbreviation like
where
all cops
you
are bad.
going? Okay, but yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, some people were on Twitter and in other communities I was in, people were like mistaking that what people were talking about is the system of like policing and the funding going towards like police and the police brutality going on within black communities and other minority communities within the United States of America, right? Also happens in Canada too. It's not talked about much, but we also have, problems with policing as well in Canada with the RCMP as well. So there's like a lot of issues with that, right? So a cab. A cab? Oh, a cab? Sorry, I can't. I definitely made it sound like a cab. Sorry, May. I was trying to read it. But yeah, But basically,
just how to pronounce
people
it.
were
Okay.
like misunderstanding the message, and I feel like high key, there were. I say high key so much. I know that's a little thing. I notice I do.
High key.
I know. Fuck. I hate when I do that. But like,
Don't worry.
it's like people will. There's like an echo chamber out where people want to be good people and they want to help people and they want to be supportive, which is, I will always say, is a good thing. Even if you're just showing your support, the fact that you have solidarity online, maybe you won't necessarily go out to a protest or maybe you won't donate money, but just you supporting and spreading that message, to me, is important. Because that means you're spreading to someone who might want to donate, who might want to go out. You're spreading to people to give the word, and just the word of itself is power within itself. It's a weird thing where, like, people shouldn't be so hard on people who are supporting movements that they're not necessarily going to act on, but them spreading the word by hitting just the retweet is bigger than they think. Getting that word out is huge. A lot of organizing is just getting out the word to people so the right ears can hear it. Sometimes it falls upon, like, it never falls upon deaf ears when you're reaching in Twitter, because the people who are going to see it, it's going to get to the right people, is at least the theory that I think a lot of organizers probably have when it comes to using social media platforms. So this probably sounds super tangential to you, and I understand why you probably are like, what the fuck is he going on about?
Yeah, I'm curious where the echo chamber comes in.
But what I'm saying is that, so where I just realized what I said in the argument about, I think I proved in a way, I answered my own question by explaining it to you, is that I think in echo chambers, I guess inherently, even if you don't know what you're doing, spreading that kind of positivity and giving it to someone who can understand, I don't know if you want to put the responsibility of explaining the movement to other people, because people get defensive when they think they're being undermined or they think that people are trying to make them feel stupid, or like, how could you not understand what a cab is, you fucking dummy? Like, how's that going to make you feel? Like, no, I'm not like, dude, maybe they were right. Not because you believe that, but because like someone's calling you stupid. Like, no one likes being called dumb. Like, no one wants to be hurt. That's why you got to meet those people with compassion, right? So why I'm saying like the cab stuff reminds me of, can echo chambers be good? But the reason that I have like an asterisk of like, they can be good because you're spreading positivity still, but they don't fully understand. And when xenophobia is a thing. People are scared of what they don't know. They're a fear of the unknown. So when they don't understand something and people start coming at them and yelling at them because they're the ones that understand the message, but they heard it from the guy that doesn't understand the message, then that miscommunication, it infects like the pure water of the movement and starts poisoning it, kind of deal. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting at.
I kind of see where you're going, but I feel like this is more an argument against echo chambers than for.
No, it is. The truth is, I'm definitely
I don't know where you're going here.
No. To be fair, I'm not even. You're so right, because the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, I'm thinking. Okay, here's where I was at the beginning. I was like, I don't think it's good if they don't understand, because at that point, I have this weird belief. I think it's probably wrong, but this is just how I've thought about life in general, where I hate when people will do things because they want other people to see them as good. Those people I usually don't associate with. You know, people who like virtue signal, or people who do good things because they want to be appreciated. I'm like, that's a sign of insecurity. That's a sign of weakness. You want to be good because you want people to see you and you want to be more favored, which is a human instinct. So when I got older, I got a little easier on them because I'm like, I'm insecure too. I'm fucking Joe Zook. I'm insecure every day, Greg. I wake up, I think people think I'm shitty. I'm like, why do I have friends? I have anxiety. I'm an awful human. I'm not saying this to get pity, but this is just how I feel, you know? I'm a very anxious person, so I'm introverted. I don't like dealing with people. I'm afraid they're not going to like me. So I got older. I learned how to deal with that on my own time. I was like, you know what? Like, I could see why you do nice things for others. It helps you take your mind off your anxiety doing something nice. That's one of the advice they tell you with therapy, right? They say when you're feeling shitty, doing something nice for someone else will make you think about someone else. You start thinking less about yourself, and then people will call you a good person. And that kind of gives you dopamine and reinforces you to be a better person, right? So I'm like, that's why this is, don't worry, again, I'm so sorry. I know people are like, what does this have to do with the cab? I'm like, listen, buddy, it's coming full circle. It's because I'm trying to explain the whole thought process. They're all the thoughts going in my head. But I think at that point, I'm like, well, you know what? Virtue signaling isn't always bad, but like, I still don't believe that you should do something. I have a really weird utopian kind of ideology where I think truly good people will do things because that's how they think the world should be. That's how I see things. That's why I do nice things sometimes, because I'm like, this isn't me being a good person. I'm not a good person. I'm doing what humans should do. This is the ideal world that I see. You know what's funny? Chad, Greg has, like, I feel like the opposite ideology as me. Because I've heard you talk about this, and I feel like, actually, no, you probably have the same. But I feel like you talked about dystopian values before.
I agree. I would say I'm the type of person that, like, if there's something, if you perceive something is wrong, then even at least acknowledging that it's wrong is better than ignoring it. I mean, easier said than done, but
yeah. Still. I do hate when people think acknowledging wrong means that they're like abdicated of any responsibility, though. I hate that shit. Because that doesn't mean anything. Like, say, like, that's like people who put out like fucking twitlongers. Hey, I'm sorry. What? Okay, what are you gonna do? I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's what he's gonna do. He said he's sorry.
I'm so mad. I know. I love your punchline. That's what makes me mad. I'm like, what are you gonna do? No, that's it. I apologize. Yeah, how are you gonna repair the harm that was done?
This is my redemption arc.
Oh, it came back to the anime PFPs. I hate you and I love you. Holy shit. Oh my god, I know, mate. I'm sorry, guys. Dude, you can't just keep apologizing. Expect to get away with this, you cretin. But yeah, that it comes back to, like, we do have the same value then in that way, where, because I think that relates to what, like, that's why I don't think I'm a good person ever. And people say, you're such a nice guy. Because I'm like, no, you know what happened? Something in your life tainted in my eyes, like, this is my, like, chat, don't take a word. This is my fucked up ideology. And this is why people probably say you're a nice guy, but I think I'm horrible. It's because I just have such a high bar for what I think, like, kindness should be, that I just think being kind is what human beings should be. That's the society. That's my utopian world that I dream about, and that's why I get disappointed sometimes and my feelings get hurt. Because I'm like, because my betrayal of my worldview gets shattered when people are mean to me sometimes. That's actually what happens. Because I'm like, oh my god, how could a human being do this? This isn't how I see human beings, you know? Like, you could call it like a purist kind of ideology, but, like, I got one life I'm living, right? Like, that's the life I want to live. You know,
I just want to offer a counterpoint here to
Please.
think about it. I mean, it's not really a counterpoint, but sort of. So, like, if you have this big ideal, everyone should be kind, and you are trying to
uphold this ideology.
What's the word? Yeah, uphold it. Yeah. Do what you can to sort of have a basic level of decency that you think, okay, this is a pretty good world to be living in. And somebody shits on you, all over the place. It's a fucking mess. Why are you the bad person because someone else did that to you? That's where I'm wondering.
Oh, because
where does that come in?
Because, like, it's not just me, but I mean the people I represent, humankind, and the society that I participate in. I feel like I haven't taken the steps to create the spaces, or people have like I'm just like mourning for society at that point. I'm mourning for the as they say, the trauma trails of people's families, the experiences people have had, that we have to live in a world where people who aren't aware of a certain idea or of something that's happening, they've either been not only has, like, to be fair, this doesn't even relate just to philosophy. This is about, like, a fucking city planning when it comes to Winnipeg, but dealing with racism in the city, and, like, talk about a cab. Like, people are so sheltered in certain communities that, dude, they don't even know what the fuck is going on in our own city. Like, they have no idea about these horrible things that are happening. And I see and hear about these things happening in the world, and we hear them through Twitter, and we get those echo chambers, sometimes racist, sometimes very positive. And that's where my fucking brain gets discombobulated, Greg. Because, yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck do I think? There's some people out here who don't know what they're talking about, but they're like, yeah, racism sucks. Yeah, my favorite content creator said it. Fuck yeah. And I want to be like, you know that meme where the guy's like, he has his finger up and he's like, that's like me. I'm like,
like which one? Like this one kind of?
No, not this one. Not the
okay.
Not the
I have to check the stream.
It's like the stickman guy where he goes like, technically that's right, but also wrong. Where he's like,
oh, okay.
That's like me sometimes, where I'm like, I want to say, maybe you should understand it, but I'm like, but he's doing a good thing. Like, who the fuck am I to say anything? Like, I don't want to poison him. That's the full circle it's come to. I don't want to poison those people. The people that we haven't took to the side of righteousness. I sound very biblical right now, but that's like the only word that like felt appropriate. The righteousness of a movement.
About ideals, it's kind of hard to avoid big words like that.
Ideology. Yeah. Real life is a loser in their opinion. So, no, Angus, I think you bring up a good point, but I don't want to. I think that's the easy way out. Angus says,
chat, Joe is evil.
Lincoln says, we gotta take him out. No, but like Angus is saying, everybody that's me in real life is a loser and their opinions don't matter. So you can just forget about them and move on. See, Angus is red-pilled and based, because what he's saying is what a lot of people share on Twitter. But
it's kind of the realist way of approaching it, I guess.
Yeah, but like that's the easy way out. Like at that point, like
yes and no. I'd
no,
say it depends.
I definitely think it's the easy way out. Like, I don't want to forget about those people, because those people could be good people. They had certain experiences that made them that way. But I think it's just they've been blind to certain things.
I mean, I'm all for passion, but also you got to understand, if you're a super idealist, nothing necessarily wrong with that inherently, but like, you eventually start to shut out that kind of perspective. Let's say the realist perspective. But you're going from idealist to extremist, and suddenly your original message is lost to begin with.
There's no difference, though. There's no difference between an idealist and an extremist. I actually think they're one and the same.
I think there is a very big difference.
You think there's a difference? Because I think true idealists are extremists in nature.
They might be more extreme in nature, but they aren't necessarily extremists. Like idealism, to me, I see almost kind of like what I was getting from you, almost like a kind of hope for a change, for a better world, whatever that looks like to you.
Mm-hmm.
But extremism, in a general sense, to me, is more like you're acting on that hope, where the means don't matter as long as you get the ends. And justifies the mean.
Dude, I don't know. Angus said some, like, you and Angus are saying some shit, because Angus just is saying some shit in the chat where it says, like, cool, I'm sure they have trauma or whatever, but also fuck them. They can figure that out.
Yeah, also, I mean, I would generally agree with that. Like,
I guess I don't have that mentality.
Sometimes somebody is just going to be shitty to you. You know what?
No, they can, I feel like you guys, like...
It's not your fault if somebody walks up to you and hits you in the face.
I feel like I'm not communicating it like the way that I want to most. That's not the point I'm getting at either.
Like what? Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. What I'm getting is you're feeling like you could be personally doing more, so that not only that people won't hit you anymore, but that they won't hit anybody else, right? Is that kind of where you're going?
Yeah, no, like kind of. That's not the full point.
You feel like you have some personal responsibility. I could be doing more to spread the message that walking around and hitting people at random isn't a good thing to do. Yes,
but what I wanted to add to that, because that is what I'm saying, but what I'm not trying to... I feel like people are trying to assume that it's like my responsibility. Like, it's not. That's not an individual idea I'm talking about, though. This is like a community, like, effort I'm talking about. I'm just saying I'm one person. I can only do what I can do. I can't...
Okay, that's good that you can recognize.
No, yeah, for sure. No, you guys are right. Like, I'm not saying I can make those changes. But what I'm saying is that I think that, personally, the power of one person is way stronger than people think. One person can't change a movement, but one person can start the movement. And once you start the movement, like, that can be like, it literally does take one person to start a huge change. But it's through that continuous effort, and through the collective unity of, like, everybody together, like, trying to get on board with that. So it brings me back to echo chambers. Like, are they good or bad? And I actually think, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry. It's not satisfying.
I'm gonna whip out my classic scapegoat. I've done it like 3 times already.
Oh my god, what's the scapegoat?
Black and white. There is no definitive answer.
You know what's funny? Ben says that too. It's true. Ben's like never thinking extremes.
Outside of I don't know, math. Most things aren't absolute, and even then, there's a. Ooh.
Yes. May gets what I'm saying, though. I'm glad May can read my mind. Yeah, I'm talking more systemic. Yeah, because I feel like you guys are trying to, like, not you, Greg. You actually, I feel like you got it. But I mean, some of the people in chat. I'm not talking about individual effort. Like, I'm not talking about me, like, anime saving the world. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that the actions and responsibilities, like, people have more responsibility than they think. That's what I'm saying. To change on a systemic level, and it's very slow. Real change takes, like, actual decades to, like, implement.
That's a generous generous way of putting it.
I would agree with you.
Hundreds of years, maybe.
Yeah, it takes longer. Like, we still deal with racism.
Hopefully, one would hope with just like how communication technology in particular, but all technology really has been advancing so rapidly recently, maybe these changes that take thousands or hundreds or thousands of years might speed up alongside it. But it's not
Yeah.
not night and day.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna think about that because I need to think because I
Two
feel
steps
like
forward, one step back.
yeah, because I feel like you talking about bringing those macro ideas to today is really making me rethink like how I view my ideologies and like fuck like I'm just thinking like because you know what this all comes back to too. You know what everything loops back to? I think about the fucking no. That's funny, but no, it's Smash 4 is literally the last thing I'm thinking about right now. I'm thinking about all the actually, you know what's fucked up? It kind of is Smash 4 because a lot of the shit happened during Smash 4. No, like I mean, like in a serious note, like we had the horrible, not the actually the wonderful truths of the survivors that came out from that summer, where everybody came out and came forward with the Me Too movement. It was wonderful. Yeah, like it was like don't get me wrong, it was horrible that these things ever happened. Like there was a terrible miscarriage of responsibility from all the adults in the smashing. Like it was fucking awful. But the fact that those people are gone, we cleansed ourselves. We purged those people. So that summer I will never forget in my life because the smash scene is something very important to me. Not just my own backyard, but like everything matters to me. I think it's fucking horseshit if you're just like, I don't know them, I don't care. I've never agreed with that in my life. Just because I don't know you doesn't mean I can't care about you. If you're somewhere else and you're hurting, I will donate money to your organization if it's something I believe in. What like battered women's shelters, or when it comes to, you know, dealing with trying to, you know, like the whole like donating money to like a Black Lives Matters organizations, like all that shit's important to me. And like that's not things that directly affect me. I'm a straight white male, Greg. Like what the fuck's gonna happen to me? Like I don't deal with any of that shit. I don't have any of those problems that a lot of good people suffer in this world, you know? So that's why I just think that like I think it's important. I think accountability and responsibility is the thing I want to like leave people with tonight and with this conversation is that more people, you have more influence than you think. Your rhetorical power is bigger than you think. Greg saying fucking anime PFP guy, Hungry Bucks TV tier list is more powerful than you think. Those guys gotta think about that, Greg. They're gonna be like, maybe I should stop asking for tier lists, Hungry Bucks.
Yeah,
maybe I should post something else.
If I start a movement,
yeah, you might. You don't even know.
I will save Smash Twitter.
Honestly,
I am the anime PFP.
You are the anime PFP. I wanted to lead off on that note, yeah, because that's important to me. Yeah, I know. Fucking welcome to Greg and Smash tier list. Greg's a fucking goat. That's what I'm saying. He ends them forever. Let's go. Let's go, blonde.
I think that's a really good point, though. I like that with the. Yeah, I would agree. Everyone has more power, accountability, responsibility than they might realize.
Mm-hmm. People think that their opinions don't matter, but like they do. People hear them, you know, and that's why I still don't know about echo chambers. I'm gonna leave it on that note because I don't know if that's good or bad. Like their existence, period. Because they have a purpose, but also they can't be hurtful, but they can also help. It's like it's kind of one of those cases where it's like just because something like do you just deal with the cases that are bad and you deal with them on a case-by-case basis? Or is the system itself salvageable? I guess that's what I'm asking you really quick. Echo chambers as an idea. Is it salvageable? Do we deal with the bad ones case by case? Or is it something we should just remove altogether?
I mean, I would be of the opinion, like I'm still kind of thinking a little bit in that vein of thought. Okay, the positive echo chamber where somebody is, you know, retweeting everything from their favorite content creator, and it happens to be generally in favor of, you know, human rights and so on.
Fucking
okay,
dope
that's
example.
cool. But like if this person as an individual going to the micro level, you know, we keep switching between macro and micro. Going to the micro level, if this person is only retweeting it just because their favorite guy said it, then there hasn't been an impact made on that individual really. And I feel like that it's a micro level problem. It's a small problem. It's one person, exactly one person, but it still feels like the meaning is lost, kind of lost in translation. I would still kind of going back to what you said earlier. I would way earlier in a different conversation entirely. I still think that the pursuit, or at least the lack of pride, the pursuit of not being ignorant, or at least not being proudly ignorant is good. It's good to try and inform yourself at least a little bit. That's why I'm kind of wary to say, oh, an echo chamber can be good. There can be a positive that comes out of it, but overall, personally, I would say it'd be better if everyone, before they retweet something, they think, no matter what it is, they think, okay, what does it actually mean? And then they look into it, and then they learn, and they say, okay, this does sound pretty good. Cool. But I don't know. At the same time, it's like I can say this, and then and you have all the other, let's say, bad echo chambers, and that's happening at the same time too. Somebody could read up on some bad ideology, let's say, and all of a sudden they say, yeah, I agree with that, and well, too bad. Now we have another problem. But I don't know. I don't like the. I'm personally not big on the idea of echo chambers. I think it rewards not looking for answers a little too much.
I'm so into you right now. I want you to know that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was literally the most beautiful bow on the conversation I've. At any conversation I ever finished with Greg, he actually nailed it on camera of all places. Actually insane. He looped 3 conversations ago. You're fucked, man. I almost don't want to talk to you anymore. I think we peaked.
Fine. Don't talk to me.
You pissed me off. Shoutouts to Dan.
This is gonna start my anti-hero phase now.
Anime PFP Twitter, give me a tear. I'm still thinking about that. But yeah, that was literally the most perfect ending ever. I would never fuck it up. That was actually perfect. I have nothing to add. That was literally eloquent as shit.